Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist John Marshall, updating you on this catastrophic Hurricane Ian. We're getting the latest in right now as of 12 o'clock. The eye wall of Hurricane Ian, which is a Category 5 slash Category 4 almost slash Category 5 storm with winds of 155 miles an hour. Folks, this is going to be a historic, damaging, catastrophic event. There's no other way to slice this thing. I mean, look at this. The satellite picture, the infrared satellite picture showing you this mammoth storm. It's like a buzzsaw in the atmosphere. And what it's doing is it's just deteriorating the weather rapidly right now. The storm is located, I'm just looking at the latest, 45 miles southwest of Punta Gorda, Florida. We're going to get into the maps momentarily, but that area is likely to get the brunt of this storm near Fort Myers as well. And this is the eye. It's about, let's say, 10, 12 miles in diameter, and there's actually little vortices within the eye of Hurricane Ian. This is just ridiculously scary in my eyes. Listen, in everybody's eyes. Hopefully all the Floridians in this area is hunkered down. We know a lot of people have not seen anything like this in their lifetime. As we take a look at the radar, what it shows is this is the Fort Myers area, and this is Punta Gorda, where Charlie hit back in 2004. Charlie was a wicked storm, but folks, Charlie was a third the size of this storm named Ian, which has winds of 155 miles an hour. You can see right here, right now, look at the eye wall. This is around noon on the 28th of September. So if you look at this a little later, it may be a little more outdated. But what will happen is we are so concerned of the storm surge that is expected with this intense hurricane that is located right now just offshore of these islands. And we've got a weather flow station near Sanibel Island, Florida, as of noon. Sustained winds of 71 miles an hour, gusting to 98 miles an hour. So these are these areas. Sanibel Island is right there, gorgeous area of Florida. It is getting hammered by the eye wall. The eye should make landfall, or the center of the storm should make landfall probably in the next hour or so, early to mid-afternoon, somewhere around the Fort Myers area or this harbor right here where Charlotte is, and these gorgeous towns really are going to take the brunt of this thing. We're going to talk about the storm surge, the incredible amount of wind that is expected, obviously, with this system, and it is just going to be simply out of control. Let's take a look at right now. I brought up Google Maps for us. There is the center of Hurricane Ian. I don't want you to concentrate literally on this little dot right here, but that's where it's located as of noon. Again, I'm looking at this coming in right now, 50 miles west-northwest of Naples, right there, okay? Or it is 45 miles southwest of Punta Gorda, right there. So the eye wall is just hammering this area with hurricane force winds. And folks, this coastline of Florida has been built up in the last 50 years. We have not seen a storm like this since then or well before then. So you get the idea. And I looked this morning, a lot of these areas are waterways with just homes after homes after homes just above sea level or at sea level. So you have a wall of water penetrating into this region at an angle right from the counterclockwise. Here we go. The southwest, right off the Gulf of Mexico, that we're expecting a storm surge between 12 and 18 feet. Just picture a wall 12 to 18 feet high of water rushing in to your region. That is what we're expecting from Englewood to Bonita Beach, right in that area where we just showed you before, right in this area, Englewood to Bonita Beach, which is right down in this through this region here. So you get the idea. There it is, Bonita Springs. So you get the idea. That wall of water will cause significant, catastrophic damage. Hopefully everybody's in their place that they need to be. This is just biblical in our eyes, and what we're seeing here, as you can see here, that storm surge, that water, and that's what kills the most, the storm surge. Rapidly rising water from either the Gulf of Mexico or whatever the situation is with these storms, as you can see here. Either side of that Tampa Bay, a couple days back, we thought the track would bring it closer to Tampa, but obviously, when you look at tracks 2 or 3 days out, obviously the uncertainty grows. So the certainty is there that this region right here will get hammered through time. And unfortunately, the amount of storm surge will cause devastation, and also the amount of rain. Okay? Think about this, 155-mile-an-hour winds, possibly gusting up to 180 miles an hour. In this region, what we're expecting is rainfall between 15 to 25 inches, as you see the legend here, and we, courtesy of these maps from NOAA, the National Weather Service, and what is going on here. So this storm, it is very much intact, and I read from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft what is going on. They got in there this morning. The winds were 120, 25 sustained, and these men and women in these C-130 aircraft, the Hurricane Hunters, we salute you guys because you are giving us the latest information and what is happening with that storm. And it just intensified to a top category 4. If it would teeter to category 5, it needs 2 more miles an hour. At this point, the 2 miles doesn't make a difference. You have a catastrophic hurricane, as I'm looking at the latest guidance coming in here, with winds of 155 miles an hour as of the noon advisory. And I have your comments coming in here. You have the place in Punta Gorda, moving there on 10/16 maybe. Godspeed to you all in this region here, because this is just some heck of a storm that is really causing havoc as we can continue to monitor the situation and the track of this thing. So and what I want to tell you too is, since this is such an intense storm, since this storm is so organized, it's going to be stronger once it gets over the peninsula of Florida. Orlando, you're under a hurricane warning. All these areas in red, and now hurricane warnings have been extended for the east coast of Florida due to the intensity that has been increased, and also the speed, which continues to move at about, and I've got it right here, 9 miles an hour to the north-northeast as of that hour, correct. So we're expecting hurricane force winds on the east coast of Florida, from Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral area, just to the south of Daytona, and then it gets over the Atlantic waters. We're expecting river flooding, an intense amount of fresh water flooding as well over the state of Florida. And then this storm will head towards the Carolinas, where they also have watches up, hurricane watches and tropical storm warnings up for this region, because it's expected to really get its momentum going with an upper level of energy that is coming through. It's called the baroclinic zone that is coming through the atmosphere. So it's going to enhance it a bit as it becomes a tropical storm. But if, just in case, we have to monitor the situation if it's a very minimal hurricane, and then giving a lot of rain, as we said, for this region as well. As you can see here, the amount of rainfall that is expected in this region, the areas of yellow, 4 to 6 inches through the Carolinas, and also up towards the Outer Banks and Ocracoke Island of North Carolina. Here in the New York City tri-state area, what we're expecting with this track, as you see here, it will take it up and somewhere in the Appalachian areas, but we're looking at the latest computer models that come in, whether it's the European or the American model. There looks to be some type of band of baroclinic rain or a front off our coastline that may give us some rain. We're not expecting intense winds, but strong high pressure is to the north, and this area of low pressure, weakening Ian in time, is to the south. So it will be windy, but it's not associated with the tropical system directly. Folks, again, we have a serious situation right now in Florida. Hurricane Ian, Category 4, expected to make landfall in the next 2 hours somewhere near this area of, let's say, right here, Captiva up through Englewood in this little inlet here, and there's Punta Gorda. So somewhere west of Fort Myers by a few miles. Unfortunately, this whole area is under the eye wall as we speak right now. And Godspeed to these people as we continue to monitor this very latest on this catastrophic event that will be unfolding over the next several hours. Florida, we are thinking about you. Godspeed to you all.